Yo, nephew, hand me that Barstool. You know what it is, and for what it's worth. You can catch me on the best corner 21st. Prime time, shine time, always in the game, never ever on the sideline. You know what it is, and for what it's worth. You can catch me on the best corner 21st. Prime time, shine time, always in the game, never ever.
Welcome to 21st and Prime. My man Jamie Dukes and Roan here. We have a show today. I'm elated because we won. So you know the show is always in a happier tone when we win than when we lose. That's just standard. I mean, I'm not influenced by my Heineken Zero. I'm not influenced by that whatsoever.
Not at all, Coach?
No.
Why, I mean, now, let me ask you this. Could you tell when you were riding on the trike, when you was riding on the trike, could you tell the Heineken Zero you were lighter on the seat because there was zero alcohol, so you were straight to drive, and then there were only 69 calories. Is that correct? So
yeah, that's correct. And I want to thank my sponsors for coming together, for providing that scooter, and they did a phenomenal job. And I made it. I made it through the game. I don't like the little knee seat, the little knee scooter. I don't like that. But
why? Because it looks. Well, it looks a certain way.
I was able to maneuver around on that, but I don't like it.
I got something for you, Coach.
Yeah.
All you got to do, this is real simple. They put him out about 10 years ago. It's the, what do you call it, the stand-up? Yeah, that's you, Coach. That's you, man.
But then I'm going to be sore because the blood is going to rush down to my foot, and I'm
you have them build the stool. You know, you got. What's your boy's name? Who, Coach?
Leon.
Yeah, Leon could build you the sitting stool. Have a leg perch up there. Oh, by the way, Coach, today is TV day. Did you know that?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
So TV day. What did we do back in the day on NFL Network? We had. Or working from the crib, we would have tie on, suit on, and then you might have, because none of this.
They look like draws, though.
No, they ain't draws. No. I
mean, I don't know what that was.
Come on, it's Army, U.S. Army, baby. These are shorts.
Oh, I don't know. I mean, you got a lot going on right now.
That's what I'm saying. But you had a lot going on TV day at the crib, didn't you? You ain't never put your suit. You didn't put your suit bottoms on when you did stuff.
No. I've done television and draws before, but just
that's what I'm saying.
I've done that. Comfortable.
Even at the desk, you'll just do that at the desk at the studio, or when you're at home, you're saying?
No, you have on shorts at the studio. You may have on shorts, but at home, I had on full draws.
What was that? What circumstance was that?
Because they made it so comfortable. I used to actually do the show at the end of my tenure at the NFL Network in my bedroom. Like you had the camera set up right there. So I would be one step away from my bed doing the show.
And are you turning on the camera or a cameraman there?
I'm turning on the camera. I'm just hitting the switch and everything is live. I mean, the technology today is unbelievable, Ron. I promise you. You can look like you're in a high-priced studio and you can be right at the crib.
That's incredible. Speaking of your game, though, I saw towards the end of the game you had a nice chat with the running back of the team that you had beat this past weekend. That guy was he named after you?
Deion Dampler. And Tracy's in here right now, my lady. Let me tell you something. Everybody named Deion to me. Everybody named Deion after 88 was named after me. That's the way I feel. I feel definitely. Like if they're spelling it Deion, they were named after me. And from 88 on back, I claim them. So when I saw that in the scouting report, I wanted to go meet him at the conclusion of the game. Just so happens he had 8 rushes for 93 yards, had a phenomenal game, and is a very pleasant kid. I mean, we text, we DM one another back and forth.
Now, do you think that? See, I think the kids named Deion, D-I-O-N, were also named. I just think their parents had a problem with 3 vowels together. By the way, say hey to Tracy. I just think the 3 vowels might have disturbed some people. That kind of what I'm thinking about. Can we get an appearance from Tracy like you bring everybody else in? Can we say hello?
You know, Tracy, you know how women find about how they look now.
Wait,
Wait,
I
I want to say hi to Jamie.
Just come right here and put your face in there.
Hi, Jamie.
there.
Hey.
How are you?
Okay, if you peer on, they got to ask you one question.
Okay, all right.
One question.
Okay.
One question.
Okay, so what is it like watching all of these manifestations of your man that you've been with, I guess, for almost a decade now? How, with the school, the endorsements, all of those things, it just seems like God is blessing him. What is that like sitting and watching that unfold? You being there, seeing how it starts, how he puts it together, and how he works his jelly.
Jamie, I call him Superman all the time because I don't know how he does it. It's like he's the epitome of multitasking. And his attention to detail. He's editing videos, picking music, coaching, doing podcasts, looking at uniforms, talking to Under Armour. I'm like, how do you do all this stuff? And his brain has all these compartments in them and stuff. It's crazy. So today I'm at the office and I get a chance to see him at work all day long.
She's seen other dude today.
Oh.
She's seen other dude today. She's seen Coach Prime today.
Yes.
She hasn't seen Coach Prime, yet.
Right. What are your thoughts of Coach Prime? I mean, that the alter ego that is Coach Prime.
Oh my God. I'm very impressed, Jamie. I am. I mean, he's no joke. He's a captain, a general in charge of everything. And he's the man. And again, his attention to detail on everything is it's awesome. But he's doing a great job and I love to see him winning. And he is, the fact that he was able to win that game and coach after surgery, is crazy because he has been in serious pain, you guys. I've been nursing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man. This is a family show, though. We don't do a lot. Ron does some cursing there, but I don't need to know what you've been nursing. So, Ron, let me ask some questions, man. Go ahead, Ron.
By the way, hey, Ron.
What's going on? It's so good to see you again, and I just want to know what kind of stuff you're working on. What do you have going on? Because I know that you're a busy and talented person yourself.
You know what? Thank you, Ron. I'm actually prepping for a couple of movies right now, and I had to bring all my work to Dion's office because we got to get the Wi-Fi fixed over at the house, as I'm sure you know.
We have no Wi-Fi.
We have no Wi-Fi. I can barely talk on the phone out there, and so I had to come out here to hold my office out here. But I'm doing so I'm posting the Netflix movie that I just did with Queen Latifah and Ludacris. It's called End of the Road. And so it's a road trip thriller that should air on Netflix, I think February. And then I have season 2 of my BET show called Games People Play, which is what goes on behind the scenes in the world of basketball. So season 2 airs October 19th. And then I'm working on a Lifetime movie about the artist called Vanity. Do you guys remember Nasty Girls?
Oh, yeah, we remember Vanity.
Does Ron remember? Ron, do you know Nasty Girls?
What was Nasty Girls? Refresh me. Give me a little bit.
I can't, you'll have to Google that. But it was a song that Prince produced. Vanity 6, Nasty Girls. You recognize it. But it's about her relationship with Prince and the making of Purple Rain and all that. It's going to be really good.
I love it. That's so fantastic.
If she had any doubt that I was saved and I love the Lord, she would have been confirmed this week. Because every night, I don't know what time it is in the wee hours of the morning, I call on Jesus like never before because my foot starts to throb and it's like a heartbeat in there. And she just see me yelling and screaming for the Lord. I mean, every night. And she runs and gets all these pills. Baby, just give me something. Give me something. Baby.
I have been praying for him. These nights it's bad in the middle of the night. That pain starts throbbing like crazy. And I shouldn't say this, but he speaks in tongues and
I'm calling him.
Yeah, it's rough. So we have a serious prayer session in the middle of the night every night right now.
I appreciate you talking about it because I know the coach doesn't necessarily like to have the pity parties and talk about how bad everything is, but you're human too, and you going through all this stuff and these trials and tribulations maybe could give some strength to somebody else who's watching it from the outside and maybe going through their own little battles that they're going through.
Well, she made me shut it down yesterday. I was having brunch. We were having brunch with Shador like we do every Sunday morning. and one of the coaches from the opposing team was having brunch as well, and I didn't know that they were going to play a game yesterday. I think it was Southern versus Mississippi Valley. I had forgotten that it was a doubleheader, like they were going to play on our field. I was like, babe, I'm going to the game. I got to support the HBCUs. I got to be there. I just show my face. She said, oh, no. You need to stay your butt home, sit down, get off your foot, sit your butt down somewhere. And I said, you know what, baby? You're right.
I'm like, how are you going to go and show your face and you have been groaning in pain all night long? I was like, they just need to understand that you just had surgery. You're there in spirit, but sit your butt down.
Yeah,
right?
That's a good woman right there, man. That's a good woman right there. Just again for me. One more time for me, please. Just for me. No, one time for me. Just for me. One time. There you go.
Bye, you guys.
Bye, sis.
That's a treat right there. That's a special
right,
treat.
Let's get to the real business. Let's go for the juggler. Give me a go. Give me a go.
Well, the NFL season just happened, bro. I mean, we just had a little situation. Well, back up. Any more comments on the game? Good there.
We all right. We didn't play great, but we got the W.
What is coach telling? What is coach saying we got to do? I saw this in the game.
We gotta heal a little bit. Open week. This is a bye week. We got to still work on the things that we need to really fine tune. We got to change some things up. I'm shuffling some decks of my own in here internally, and we just got to come back out and be dominant. We got to do what we're capable of doing. We're not playing up to expectations of my expectations right now. We're not.
You got to have a high standard for sure. You got to have that high standard. We'll definitely get into the NFL, but before we get into the NFL, Coach, I wanted to ask you about something I saw with the Ohio State game, and I want to ask you from a coaching perspective. Now, Ohio State linebacker Kevon Pope had an outbreak on the sideline after getting waved off when he tried to run onto the field, and he tried to off his jersey. He went to the locker room. They brought him back out, and he quit the game in the middle of the game. He was on Twitter using all kinds of profanities about the Ohio State coaching staff. And I wanted to get your take on that situation as a coach, as a leader of young men. What do you do when it gets to this point with the player? And did you see what was going on at Ohio State?
I didn't see what happened, but he would have been removed from the sidelines for sure, taken into the locker room. Based on what you just said, because I don't know, he would have never played for me again. I don't know what went on internally. I don't know what promoted that. I don't know what the problems there were before, because I'm pretty darn sure there was problems before if you're going to get to that level. But he would have never played for me again. I never wore an Ohio State uniform again. I'm pretty sure that may be the course of action. But in saying that, he needs some help as well. You got to get him some help so he can make it through life.
Coach, Adam Jones, I remember used to work with him a little bit, right? Mm-hmm. I understand he could never play for the people at Ohio State again, but can he play for Jackson State right now? Can we go get him some help, bring him on in there and see what his talents are? That's what you're supposed to be doing. Is that an option?
No. It's a different when someone is hurting people around you, someone is attacking themselves. Now, if this gentleman is inflaming people around him, he has to go. Now, if he's targeting himself with a personal problem, you can see this guy to get him some help.
Well. Now, Coach, I gotta pull a hypocritical card on you here a little bit.
Go ahead.
You have helped every kind of mofo I know.
Yeah.
First of all, I don't mean to put you on the spot. I'm just saying.
I have helped them with their personal life. I didn't help them play for me.
Well, no, but the kid may not have to play. He might just be able to come to your school and not play and be a student.
Well, that's what I said earlier. I said to get him help because he's not going to play football ever again.
But I put out there Jackson State is a place for that young man to possibly seek some help.
No, don't put that out there because that ain't going to happen. That's not going to happen. I mean, if what Roan explained that he was yelling obscenities about the university, about the coaching staff, he can't play for me. It's like you can't take. There are things in life that you can't take back.
You're right about
we could get him some help. Now he may could go somewhere else to start over, but here that's not gonna happen.
To me, when I saw the situation, it seems like maybe there's deeper stuff going on, but I think a lot of it comes down to playing time. He had played in 36 games. He had only had 3 tackles throughout the season. He tried to run on as a sub package, and whoever was starting said, no, you're not coming in, and they waved him off. How should players deal with not getting playing time if they thought that they deserve it or were going to get it?
Ron, by the time you get to the game, you know darn well if you're going to play or not. We got JIC. It's called JIC, Jamie. Every Friday, I do JICs, which means just in case. I have the offense out here, the defense. I say, okay, Jamie Dukes goes down. Guess what happens? The next guy runs in. I say, okay, Tracy goes down. Guess what happens? The next person runs in. I go through the entire defense in different situations. I say, okay, it's a nickel. We got passing down. We got empty backfield. This formation empty. Defense got the nickel package in. Okay, this guy goes down. Who comes in? You go over every possible situation that you could fathom. So everyone knows where we're going, including the coaches, where we're going in this situation, special teams and all. So it's not a situation that can happen where someone thinks he's supposed to be in there and he get waved off. You know darn well you ain't supposed to be in there. Or you're supposed to be in there. It's one or the other. So you can't flip out when you've already gone over that stuff prior to.
Yeah, I like it. And I also like the fact that you're saying that just because he's not on this team anymore, it doesn't mean that you have to take him. It's not like you're not trying to run an insane asylum. You're trying to run a football team full of people who want to be on the football team.
God, Jamie want me to run a care center. I'm not running a care center.
No, I don't. Wait a minute. You have been known for rehab, bro. You have, and again, I'm drawing the line. I'm learning like you are. This is new. I'm wondering what the line is. I'm just learning what I'm learning like the people are. What is Coach Trine's line? Because it's not a irrational question to ask. Can he play for you, or would you just help him? And I think that's what you kind of.
I help anybody. That's the thing. I can help anybody. I help anybody. You might can't play for me, but I can help anybody. Don't you think out of 115 young men inside this locker room, we got this, that in this? We got all kind of stuff going on in here.
Okay.
And we're pointing a lot of these kids to the right direction and the help that they need as well as them trying to coincide with schoolwork and be significant with their own selves and just be a good young man. That's it. Just a good, viable young man.
Yeah, you don't want it to get to that point. Like, is it a failure on the coaching staff that this became a public issue? Should they have nipped this in the bud, or is it just something you can't tell?
You can't prepare for everything, man. You can't prepare for everything. And oftentimes, everything is inflamed because you got thousands of people in the stands, you got TV cameras, you got everything around, and a lot of things are inflamed. We've had incidents on the sideline, probably not at that magnitude, but I've sent players in before as well. This ain't the first time.
Well, since you want to help people, and I appreciate that, I'm going to start with the nobody cares. Could you help the Giants?
Mm-mm.
Could you help the
It
Giants?
made me mad because they lost to the team that I say I wasn't going to ever pick again in my life, and that's the Falcons. And you know how much I love the Falcons.
Yes.
And they lost to the Falcons. Now, if you can't beat the Falcons, I'm done. You are in nobody care territory for the rest of the season.
Well,
every time I pick my games on Thursdays, they would be ain't nobody care. Because
they're
how
bad.
can you consistently be sorry? Like the Jets, how can you consistently be garbage every year? How can you do that? And New York is the mecca of everything, right? How can you consistently be horrendous every year? Every third year, you get a new quarterback that's supposed to be the savior, right? Supposed to be on the cross, supposed to have you on the cross hanging, right? They're supposed to be the savior. Every third or fourth year, am I right or wrong? They get a new quarterback that's supposed to be this or that, and it never works.
It's easy, though. The answer is very easy.
What's the answer?
It's decision making. You know how that is.
What's the decision of who? Management?
The owners, number one, starts at the top. The owners are making a decision.
Okay. To do what? To be garbage? I'm pretty sure the owners we're going to be garbage this year.
Here's the point. Okay. There's only been one in the history of the NFL. Oh, you're on the 100 team, right? The 100 team, right? That means that's 100 years or something, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you realize there's only been one successful head coach who was a special teams coach? Do you understand this?
You can't use that because
No. I'm used to
the Giants have won a couple Super Bowls.
No, but not with a special teams coach as the head coach.
I mean, I'm pretty sure they won over more than 2 Super Bowls. They won 2 up on the Eli.
No. That's but who you picked at the helm? They could have taken at the time the defensive coordinator or the offensive coordinator of the Giants. They could have taken, of what?
The Baltimore Ravens has a special teams coach that's doing pretty darn good.
Well, he's the one. That's the one of the 100.
You can't blame it on the special teams coach.
No. Here's why I blame it on special teams coach, because this is my coaching philosophy, how I'm looking at a head coach. You got to be one or the other for me, offensive or defensive coordinator. Now, you are different because you're prime, number one.
Everybody's not like that, Jamie.
No.
All these coaches in the NFL don't run offensive defense. Some of them CEOs.
Most of the successful coach, you have to be a CEO. You have to evolve to a CEO. But you had a particular genius on one side of the ball that you imposed your will from your genius of what you did. That's just me. Not everybody, but the offensive coordinators, Mooch, all these guys, they had an offensive genius, and then they were a head coach. Gruden, offensive coordinator, head coach. Andy Reid, offensive coordinator. Tomlin, defense coordinator. Dungy, defense coordinator. There was Cowler. Then you became a head coach. Special teams is tricky for me. I'm not a fan of it, but a Hall of Fame coach, I believe, in Harbaugh in Baltimore, is the exception to the rule. And so,
excuse me, Hall of Fame.
Because you know why? Because he's going to coach another 10 years.
Hall of Fame.
Right?
You got James. You got to stop throwing around those words like
the coach.
He's throwing around Hall of Fame like it's a shawl.
I'm saying he's going to stack up another 100 wins.
You got to stop that.
He's going to stack up.
You got to stop throwing the Hall of Fame around like it's just normalcy. You got to stop that.
You don't want to let everybody in?
We got to start putting locks on these doors some kind of way, because there's open house. It's open season.
You're not saying the coach is trailer trash. And I know you ain't saying that about coaches.
I would never call any coach.
I'm just joking. It was a joke.
Foremost, but we got to stop that.
Okay, now I got to look up some numbers. Now keep talking since we got to stop that. But again, it's all about the numbers. Why do you get in the Hall of Fame? You get in there with a championships, success, and then. So he's getting in. Mike Tomlin's going to get in over time because they're going to rattle off another 10 years, another 100 wins.
Mike Tomlin's track record is better than some that has already gotten in.
That's what I'm saying. And Harbaugh's is too.
No, I don't know about that. Okay, what about Clemson, guys?
Okay.
I hate to
Clemson looks bad.
Why?
Clemson looks bad because they haven't been able to replace the superstars that they've had in there. And the new talent that they have, I think that the organization is becoming a little bit top-heavy with Dabo. Obviously, Dabo is a fantastic coach, but when things become a little bit too much about Dabo, then the entire program can suffer. If you look at Alabama, there's a expected excellency that no matter who they have in their quarterback, they're going to be at a certain level. But I haven't seen Clemson be able to transcend this year, and they still have an incredible, cabinet of really nice players. Justin Ross is one of the best receivers in the country. He had 2 touchdowns, but they still wind up losing to NC State. Clemson is in for a little bit of a rude awakening. I don't know if they're going to wind up in the playoff like they have been for the last several years.
Well, you can't because you lost 2 games. Let's just get this straight. That's over. That's done. College football, now you lose 2 games. It's a wrap. The problem lies to me with what I've seen in the past and what I'm seeing right now is the quarterback position. They've had stability at the quarterback position for the last 3 years. 3 years before that, they had stability with Deshaun Watson. And now you're saying
they've had a certain level of play that wins them 10 or 12.
What Deshaun and this other kid brought to them has been phenomenal. Now you're in a position where I don't know if you have that level. Now, when you compare them with Alabama, the other positions are so dominant that Alabama has been able to just throw someone in a quarterback and win. Just so fortunately, the last several years, Alabama has had that guy that now all of a sudden he becomes draftable. Remember, a long time consecutively, Alabama wins, but never had a pro type quarterback that was
All
successful.
of those guys.
They just won. Now they have those type of guys that are expected to go to the next level. I don't know how they're panning out at the next level, but they're expected. They've gone high at the next level. Right now, Clemson, it doesn't look like they have that person. And I feel like that's where their woes are starting.
To me, it's exciting because I like to have variance in the college football landscape. Like I get a little bit bored when it's Alabama, Clemson, Ohio State, and either Notre Dame or Washington every year. Like I want to see these. I want to see Georgia win the SEC. I want to see teams like Iowa or Penn State coming out of the Big Ten. I just want to see different programs become powerhouses so we don't have recruiting centralization where it's like everybody, if they're good, is going to go to Alabama. If Ohio State wants somebody, they're going to get them no matter what. I think it'll balance things out in the long run and give different programs the opportunities to be great.
Yeah, but I think I was going to say you. But a lot of times, Ron, you set your own destiny. So in other words, so here's the thing that comes to mind as I'm watching Clemson. So we went at Florida State. So we started and we were only winning 9 or 10 games, when I was there. Then Prime and them took it over. Coach Prime and them, they took it over, and now they were 11. There was one loss, and it was usually either Miami or something, But it would only be one loss, or be the one loss in the bowl game, But no, it wouldn't be the loss in the bowl game because we went almost 20 years or something like that without losing a bowl game. But what happened after, I'm gonna say about 4 or 5 years after Coach left, then the guys started thinking because they went to Florida State. They were Florida State. So the players lost that, we had some ballers, when I was playing, guy, Jesse Sullivan didn't get drafted. He was a linebacker, was 250 pounds, ran 4.5. We had some great players. Martin Mayhew, the GM, people forget, he played 10 years in the NFL as a quarterback. There's been a lot of great players, and obviously the Prime's class and on and on and on. But the question I'm seeing, Coach, is it seems like Clemson now has finally hit the same wall that Jimbo Fisher's boys hit at Florida State.
I think it happens to a lot of programs. I think USC we saw it. I think Miami we saw it. These programs become such marquee programs, and they're so coveted that it's going to have to give eventually, and you're going to have to just find a way to be consistent with it. And we haven't seen that at Clemson. There was footage of Dabo running out, and he runs out before the team. He sprints out. He has the camera on him. He makes it all about him. And as the head coach, I just want to see, it being a little bit more about the team for him rather than
what
him.
What do you have against Dabo, Ron? What did Dabo do? What do you have against Dabo? Because every encounter I've had, everything I've heard, Dabo is a great guy. So tell me, what kind of bet did you make that Dabo beat you and you lost? What happened with you and Dabo?
I just don't like how Dabo is such a me guy. How are you the coach and you're a me guy? You're not putting the spotlight.
When did he become a me guy?
When he's sprinting out the tunnel and he has the entire stadium cheering for him, his players are trying to run with him. He's stiff arming his
the team right behind him, Ron.
He tries to separate himself from the team.
He's running
20 yards.
He's running faster than Ron, stop, man.
He wants the whole stadium to be applauding him.
Every head coach runs out before the team. Ron, stop. I was out on a scooter this past week, I veered off to the right because I ain't want him to catch me and run me over. Every head coach runs out before the team, bro. Stop it.
If you were Dabo, he would be on a motorcycle doing a wheelie. I'm surprised he doesn't ride a horse out there or like a tiger or something like that. Dabo loves Dabo.
So Dabo lost a lot of money for Rome somewhere. Where is it, Ron? We're going to track it down, Ron. It had to be 2 championships ago or something that Dabo lost a lot of loot for you. Something, Ron, has taken you over.
Or is it the kind of player that Dabo coaches? Is it that, Ron?
Yeah, he coaches. He coaches dogs.
Well, but see, because the thing is, he has no problem with Nick Saban and how Nick is doing this thing.
Nick is dominant. Coach Saban is dominant.
Dabo has been dominant.
Dabo has been dominant.
Yes.
That was a beast. Jeremiah Trotter Jr. was recruited by him this year. I'm a massive Jeremiah Trotter Jr. fan. I think that he does a great job of coaching. I love the players that he coaches. Amari Rodgers was a stud for him. I mean, obviously, Trevor Lawrence isn't doing fantastic this year. Trevor Lawrence throws about 5 picks per game. It looked like they were about to win, too. People were about to crown Trevor Lawrence after that 90 or that 109-yard return. Did you see that missed field goal? The kicker was going for a 68-yard field goal. I don't know why you put your kicker in that situation, because it seems like it's a pretty easy way to fail, trying to have someone kick a 68-yard field goal.
But Coach will also tell you that's also the easiest way to score, because guess who's on the field?
A bunch of linemen.
No, you only have 1, 2 kicker holder, 4 skill positions.
They can't stop you. No,
everybody's
the tight end, maybe the tight end.
The wing guys. The wing guys are
that's a tight end, though. But he's the most athletic. A tight end is the most athletic guy trying to stop that dude right there as soon as he gets the ball in the end zone. It's
what was a more impressive play to you fellas this past NFL weekend? That 109-yard kick return by the Jaguars, or the 66-yard field goal to win the game by the Ravens over there?
66. That guy's unbelievable, man. I like the way he came into the NFL, how he got in. He sent a bunch of videos out and finally got an opportunity, and they gave him an opportunity to kick. That's how he got in. It wasn't like he was just this guy. He worked his butt off to get in. That I love him. Love what he stands for. All-time record holder. He's been phenomenal career. He epitomizes the word kicker. When you look at kicker, it should be a picture of him.
Yeah, Justin Tucker is a beast.
Yeah. The thing that got me with him, Coach, was I think you were playing then, and he kicked the field goal. Remember, all the brothers were doing some kind of dance they was doing, and he hit a 50-something yarder. He hit that thing. I got to find it. At that point, I have a problem with kickers. Ron, I just want you to know that.
Yeah, Tucker's unbelievable.
There's a kicker bias that we have. I have, honestly, and it had to do with this. If you could watch soap operas while I was at practice, I had a problem. So
what do you want him to be doing? You want him to just be hitting?
I don't care what they're doing. All I know is I'm at practice. So I don't want you inside for an hour and 15 minutes. So you got the first part of the practice, and then you got the last part of the practice. And so I just had a little fundamental problem with that. I don't care how many kicks they stole, this and that. Hey, you did your job at that point. But if you weren't out there in that heat with me.
How can you guys put Aaron Rodgers and Big Ben in the same sentence? I don't understand.
That's tough.
How do you guys do that?
It's tough. I mean, Aaron Rodgers, Big Ben does have more Super Bowl wins than Aaron Rodgers. That's one thing that he does have over Aaron Rodgers. But if we're looking, that's me being devil's advocate, because if we watch the Big Ben we saw this past NFL weekend, and then we watch the Aaron Rodgers we saw this past NFL weekend, they're not in the same class of human.
If Aaron Rodgers performed like Big Ben has performed over the years, he wouldn't be Aaron Rodgers.
That's correct.
I just put it like
for sure.
So here's the thing. Think about this, Ron. And it's not, there are guys who have, because we were just talking about this, somebody, I don't know who I was talking about, Matt Ryan and Joe Flacco, that whole thing that went on forever, comparison, contrast. With Aaron Rodgers, the Pittsburgh Steelers may have rattled off 3 Super Bowls with what they did defensively. With Aaron Rodgers, it's my opinion, as the quarterback for the Pittsburgh Steelers that we have seen. Aaron's problems have always been, if you ask me, is defense. He's never had that defense to get them, because Aaron's always going to be in that Final Four. The Final Four, that semifinal. If he's alive and playing quarterback, he's always going to have him there. Ben has always been up or down, but Ben, quintessential. Coach, could you define a double agent, please?
A double agent is a guy who will win it for you, but also will lose it for you.
So are there a lot of – so what position is most guilty of being a double agent? Is it the quarterbacks that are they're the double agents?
the quarterback.
And it seems like Ben wants to be playing football more than football wants Ben Roethlisberger around anymore. It seems like he just doesn't necessarily have the mobility. And I feel bad for the Steelers because they built some really nice skill position players around him. Obviously, like you said, Jamie, they've had this defense for a while. They have some studs on that defense. And unfortunately, it's not going to work out for them this year, and they're not really in a great position to get another good quarterback. Like, I don't know where you go from here, but they're going to be a mediocre team. They're not going to be at the top of the draft, so it's a very hard situation for him. And while we're talking about hard situations, I want to talk to you about our good friends over at Roman the good folks over at the Roman Swipes, because a lot of guys have tried different ways to last longer. They might be thinking about naming as many starting quarterbacks as they can, or whoever's going to be next for the Steelers, but it doesn't always work. The folks over at Roman, an online men's health company, are changing ways with Roman Swipes that you can last longer. In fact, it's the secret to longer lasting sex. They're clinically proven. They're super easy to use. You just take them out of your packet, keep it in your wallet, and you're good to go. It's discreet, unmarked packaging that'll come right to your door for some easy to use, fast acting, and it doesn't even require a prescription. That's just a solution to some of the problems fellas might be having in their lives. So go to GetRoman.com/prime. and you can get your first month of swipes for just $5 when you choose your monthly plan. That's GetRoman.com/prime.
Guys, this is an important question that I see on the rundown. It says, what do you guys do on Sundays when someone wants to do something other than watch football?
That's a question that I have, because this is something that comes up in my life. I'm a newlywed guy, and the wife, she'll want to, it come the fall, it's getting darker a little bit more. We don't have the vacation options that you have in the summer to go by the beach or spend some time outside. And there's football on all day Saturday, all day Sunday. And honestly, come 1 o'clock until about 10 o'clock at night, 11 at night, all I want to do is sit there and watch football. And I want to get some advice from you fellas on what should I be doing in this situation? Should I be going apple picking? Am I going to the orchard, going and looking at pumpkins in the fall? Or should I be standing my ground, getting my groove on the couch and sitting there?
I got two things for you. First of all, you got to give up Friday. Friday is your playmaking night. Friday is game night for the wife. Friday, I don't know if she works. I don't know what she does, but around 4 or 5-ish, you should have the roses. You should have the dinner picked out or the movie. And Friday, you got to make it about her. You got to make her feel like she's that young dime that you saw way across the room a long time ago when y'all first got into this thing that y'all got into that we call husband and wife. You got to make her feel like she is that one all day Friday. You know why? Because you know darn well Saturday and Sunday is coming. You know Saturday and Sunday is coming. And whenever you think about laying on that couch, you got to think about rubbing her feet. Whenever you think about hitting that remote control, you got to think about caressing her shoulders. Whenever you're thinking about you reaching your hand to the bottom of the bag of chips, you got to reach your hand to the...
Whoa.
My bad. And you know, you got to sacrifice for your lady. Ron, you got to sacrifice for your lady. You got to give up Friday, and you're going to have to give up Monday. You got to give up Monday. Because all day Saturday and Sunday, you've dedicated to TV in the NFL. So Monday, you got to come back and give her your all again. She gets Monday, you get the rest Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and you got her again Friday. That's the only way you're going to get Saturdays and Sundays.
Like, are you locked in are you the same way? Are you locked in on Sunday? Like when the football games come on, do you have work obligations that are getting in the way? Or
I got a schedule. Like I'm very routine. Like one thing you'll learn about athletes, Ron, we're very routine. So we have to create a schedule to keep us on point. Like no matter what time of day I go to sleep, no matter if we got a away game, whatever, I'm going to get up probably 5, 6 in the morning. I'm going to get me some coffee. I'll probably sit on the back porch, recap the game in my head. I'm waiting for Sunday morning to come on in. By the time Sunday morning gets here, I'm waiting for me and Shador we go have brunch every Sunday morning at this hotel like clockwork. And we'll talk about the game. It's just our father and son kind of moment, not coach, son. It's our moment. Then I'll go head to the office, watch film, go over everything. And I pretty much get the coaches off, but they come in and start game planning, start getting ready for the next week, for the new game schedule. So Sundays, then I'll go home. I'll make it home in time for games, and I watch football. I love watching pro football.
Yeah. See, Ron, there's another simpler path here.
Okay.
Well, let me ask you this. I don't mean to get in your business now. So did you move in with your girl, or did she move in with you?
She moved in with me.
I'm asking that again, just to make sure. Again, I don't mean to pry.
That's your TV.
Did you move in with her and her parents, or is she living with you?
She's living with me. She moved in with me.
Here, I want you to exercise here. So I want you to touch the wall to the right of you, touch the wall to the left of you in your place of business that you're working right now.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Uh-huh.
The people the building you're in, them people pay your salary. Okay. So what you're gonna have to do though is you're gonna have to pick one. What I mean by that is one sport. You can't do this for the NBA and boxing and all that other stuff. You got to pick your favorite sport and say, hey, look, for work purposes, baby, I got to do this. Football is what pays the bills, here. I mean, unless you got plans for, but here's how we, you see this refrigerator right here? That's Sub-Zero, baby. So that is one, and that's where you have to stay consistent because see, then you throw in there, Dave, they were on me because I wasn't prepared the other day. I'm not doing that. I mean, you got to play around with it. You got to use the psychology.
He's telling you to lie, bro. Don't lie. He's telling you to lie.
I'll call you out sometimes that you didn't know how many statistics. The kid went from. What's the stats on the kid from Chicago? Right off the top of your head, what is that?
He had less than 10 passing yards.
Now, look at the wrong. If you're going to work with us, Coach. Hey, excuse me. If you're going to work with Coach Prime, you got to know all of these statistics. That's what's going to happen here if you're going to work with Coach Prime. That's what Coach demands. Now, see, you can take that with you now and say that you got called out because you didn't know the quarterback statistics on the show. So therefore, now you'll be able to go to the games Saturday, Sunday, be able to play with it because your partner on the show called you out, embarrassed you in front of the nation because you didn't know the statistics on Coach Prime's show.
So when she wants to watch 90 Day Fiance or something like that, I say, hey, Jamie Dukes is yelling at me. He's saying I don't know enough about Justin Fields. No. Here's what you do. Here you go. Hey, baby, can you look at that on your phone? You got your laptop, baby. You're going to put your laptop right here and sit in the lap and watch it. I'll watch some of that with you. Oh, that's yeah. That's how you got to do it. If you're going to do that, just bring the laptop in, or you can be like at Coach Prime's place. And there's like 17 monitors up there, so you can allocate maybe half a monitor in a picture-in-picture for Tracy.
You gotta have multiple TVs, Ron. If you're into sports, you gotta have it. You can't have one.
Smart.
TV.
Oh, you're right.
I'm a strategist. That's what I do, dog. So you have to forgive me. That's just what I do. So I'm giving you the tactics of life. Coach is right on top of it. But I think together, those two elements. But you got to pick one sport, Coach. You think that's right or no?
I like that.
Yeah, it's valuable advice. That's why I came to you, fellas, because I know you have that valuable advice, and you always have some game for me to soak up. So I'll take the game for sure.
Well, Coach, on that note, you can shut this thing down. That's going to do.
Yeah, that was wonderful. I want you to do that, Ron, but remember, you got to sacrifice Fridays and Mondays.
That's genius.
Can you post something on that, Coach, just to make sure little pearls of wisdom for the fellas?
No, we'll just take this. We'll just take this and cut it up and put it on.
Okay. So Coach's pearls of wisdom. Yeah. All right. Well, we out, fellas.
Amen.
You know what it is, and for what it's worth, you can catch me on the best corner 21st. Prime time, shine time, always in the game, never ever on the sideline. You know what it is, and for what it's worth, you can catch me on the best corner 21st. Prime time.